What is your message to your team about slowing her down?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to pick her up higher. She shoots from the logo, so you can't pick her up at the logo just because, again, that's a super comfortable shot. It's almost like a layup to her, especially her going to her left. So we just got to be aware. And it's just not about just an individual matchup. It's going to be a team effort because they play so fast. So we're going to be in constant communication, picking her up, whoever's closest. And then obviously physicality. Like you can put some physicality on her, both her and even Kelsey Mitchell. We can't ignore, what type of elite shooter she is.
That's the kind of strategy you put out when you truly think you've figured someone out. Before tip-off, Natalie Knowles was chatting to media about more than just strategy. She was promising things. At the logo, pick her up. Make her go to the left. Get hands-on. Make it a collective effort. The head coach of the Golden State Volley into the press conference prepared to shut down the most explosive scorer in the league after watching the film and identifying the holes. After 22 points and 9 three-pointers, we must discuss what transpired when theory and reality collided. Because there was much more to the post-game interviews than simply another highlight clip of Caitlin Clark. They exposed a group that was unable to acknowledge what the audience already knew.
What the general idea was on Caitlin, was it blitz the pick and roll essentially?
I mean, you guys, saw what we're doing, right? But like I said, just to the prior press conference before was we were being disruptive. We know that she doesn't like physicality.
Whoa. She don't like physicality. Y'all was out there hacking. What are you talking about? She don't like, y'all be trying to make it seem like Caitlin Clark is soft. Absolutely not. She gets guarded with a level of physicality that nobody else in the league does. And we all know that. We know she was targeted, most flagrantly foul player in the league and all of that. Caitlin Clark holds her own against physicality. I don't know what you talking about. Whatever physicality y'all was trying, it didn't work. 22 and 9, threes from the logo on your head top. You might want to chill out because she might get mad and tear your ass up again next game.
Right? We know that she wants to get to that left step back. I mean, to me, all the time, I watch her in Iowa, so she loves that left step. It's like almost like a layup for her. So again, we're just making sure that she wasn't getting into rhythm and then that she was just seeing multiple bodies. Yeah.
Well, it looked like she was in a pretty good rhythm to me. You got back.
Pay close attention to those words. Physicality bothers her. In the press conference following the game, Nas is attempting to promote the story. Standing there after allowing the Indiana Fever to score 90 points. She's intensifying the strategy, alleging they were disruptive and that they are aware of Clark's poor physical defense skills. Here's the issue with that evaluation, though. Last season, Caitlin Clark had the most flagrant fouls drawn in the league. In recent WNBA history, she has been the target of more hard fouls than any other player. Since her freshman season, the entire league has put her to the test physically, and the outcomes are known. She doesn't back down from physical contact. Despite all, she thrives. Therefore, we are actually hearing cognitive dissonance when Nako claims that we know she dislikes physicality after Clark just unloaded 22 and N on her defense. In principle, the strategy made sense. Although there was execution, the results fell short of expectations. And rather than concede that maybe, just maybe, there's no defensive plan that consistently stops a player coming up from the logo. The story revolves around Clark's alleged vulnerability.
To that left step back, I mean, to me, all the time, I watch her in Iowa, so she loves that left step. It's like almost like a layup for her. So again, we're just making sure that she wasn't getting into rhythm and then that she was just seeing multiple bodies. Yeah.
Well, it looked like she was in a pretty good rhythm to me. You go back to the drawing board, Natalie Nakas. You're a good coach, but back to the drawing board, okay?
Nako's determined that to be Clark's comfort zone. When she finds rhythm, this is her go-to move. And you know what? Regarding the scouting report, she is entirely correct. That step-back three is a favorite of Clark's. The league's coaches are all aware of it. Every defender has seen that Iowa movie. However, anticipating what will happen and preventing it are two completely different difficulties. After 4 games, the Valkyries had the top defensive rating in the league. They had the staff, the plan, and the planning. Caitlin Clark continued to find rhythm. Music. She could still see enough room to work. Even from distances that shouldn't be regarded as feasible shot attempts, she made them pay.
As she tried to throw some cold water on the hot performance of Caitlin Clark.
Sheen, what?
Nope. We gotta get close. Caitlin, you had a career high tonight. What was working well for you tonight? Dang it.
Oh, sorry.
Good job.
I feel like we did a good job just spacing the floor and attacking them off the dribble. Yeah, getting mismatches. Tip did a great job too of that. I just want to say.
Got a career high. Give me some. That's what's up. What are some of the takeaways we can take from tonight going into next Thursday when we play them again? Just coming in focused from jump. I think our defense is our bread and butter, and 90 points is too much for any team for us. So I just think we got to go back to the drawing board and fix the little things, because it's literally the little things, and it's us.
It becomes really telling at this point. Veteran guard Tiffany Hayes is attempting to minimize a career performance. When the reporter asks explicitly about Clark's evening, Hayes instantly changes his mind. Well done on establishing mismatches, attacking off the dribble, and spreading the floor, everything except admitting what actually transpired. Music. And now for the best part. For any team, including ours, 90 points is too much. Since it's literally minor things and it's us, we had to start over and make the necessary corrections. Nobody else is involved. Nobody else is involved. Take a moment to consider that. Just now, the Indiana Fever scored 90 points. 9 three-pointers, including several from over 30 feet, were just made by Caitlin Clark. And the answer is that it's all about Golden State's errors, little flaws that need to be resolved, and internal problems unrelated to the opponent they recently faced. When teams are unable to reconcile their preparation with the outcome, they engage in mental acrobatics. Because it seems like surrender to acknowledge that someone is simply superior, and that they possess a skill set that you are unable to match. Instead, you concentrate on your own performance, your own errors, and your own solvable issues.
Yeah, it was definitely really physical too. And they're a really good team, and they're really good defensively, and we battled, and I thought we played really great defense, especially in the second half, and thought we got off to a good start, then we kind of dropped a little bit, and then the second half was really, really good and kind of powered us through. I thought we played great one-on-one defense. That was kind of what they were just doing, is hunting ISO, especially on me, like just ISO, top of the key. And we forced them into contested twos. I think they were 4 for 17 in the fourth quarter, so it's a recipe for a win for us. But for me personally, like, it was definitely good to, see my first 2 shots go in and then kind of go from there.
Caitlin Clark showed out, man, and then stepped it up defensively in the fourth quarter. They was hunting Caitlin Clark, and she wasn't.
20 points and 5 assists in each of the first 5 games of a season, making him the first player in WNBA history. Not Maya Moore, Angel Ree, Asha Wilson, Diana Taurasi, or any other name you choose to use. The first player in history to sustain that kind of output during the early going. Half of the league is still figuring out how to discuss history without giving it too much credit.
In that chippy moment with Solana at halftime that led to the double text.
I was just trying. Oh, did I get a technical? Oh, no way. Oh, it just makes sense for the refs tonight, so I'm not surprised. Wow, I could have got ejected. I should have been a little safer in the second half. Okay, well, guess I have some fines coming my way. And a flagrant. Wow. Well, the refs were interesting, but I'm not going to say anything else, because obviously I got probably $1,000 worth of fines coming my way, but I was just trying to get the rebound, and I didn't know I got a technical foul, but thanks.
These refs were a joke. Hey, the black dude number 11, yo, I never want to see you ref a game, bro. I don't know where you came from. I don't know if you work at Taco Bell in the real time. I don't know if...
Compare Caitlin's discussion of the game with that of the Valkyries. Just a tactical breakdown, no justifications or diversion. They engaged in physical play. In a protective manner, they pursued isolations against her. In response, the Fever used forced contested twos and a disciplined help defense. In the fourth quarter, Golden State made 4 of 17 shots. Then she brings up an important point. Observing her first 2 shots. That's the difference between a coach who believes you can interrupt rhythm with a game plan and a player who knows it. Clark is aware that her confidence increases when she witnesses the ball pass through the net early. The range is wider. The ability to make decisions improves. To keep her out of rhythm was the Valkyries' goal. Rather, they sacrificed 2 early makes of, and the remainder of the evening was unavoidable.
Think of what she did tonight and just her ability to do that off the bench.
Yeah, I think for Raven, her immediate impact, I think is great. I think defensively she picks up the ball pretty high and just tries to make it difficult on whoever's dribbling the ball. So I think that's definitely her impact tonight. And then obviously she was able to get downhill, knock down a big 3 for us in a lay. So I think, she's just doing exactly what we need her to do.
I think Raven Johnson definitely played.
The way officials are treating Caitlin Clark this season is made clear by that technical foul incident. Her goal is to make a comeback. Satu Savali is in contact. And for whatever reason, Clark receives a technical evaluation. It wasn't until the press conference that she realized it had occurred. I might have been expelled. In the second half, I ought to have been a little more cautious. Consider that assertion. She's controlling her own physicality because regular basketball contact carries the potential of ejection due to the uneven officiating, not because she's playing dirty. She then catches herself. I suppose I'll be facing some fines. The referees were fascinating, but I won't say anything more because I will undoubtedly face fines of at least $1,000. That player has discovered the hard way that it costs money to be honest about officiating. But pay attention to what she's actually saying. The referees were fascinating. It's code. A second-year athlete who is already fed up with being treated differently than everyone else on the court made that wise decision. After 15 minutes off the bench, Raven Johnson had an instant defensive effect and made a vital 3-pointer during a transition. Beyond only Clark and Boston, Indiana is hazardous because of this depth piece. You're no longer a one-woman show when your 6th player can enter the game, disturb opposition ball handlers, and provide spot-up shooting. You are a real competitor. However, this is what makes the larger story so intriguing. The Valkyries will return to see this movie. All of the previously listed items will be visible to them prior to the game. They will persuade themselves that they can achieve a different outcome in the rematch with improved execution, greater physicality, and tighter rotations thanks to the stepbacks, left-hand drives, and logo threes. They can't since the strategy isn't the issue. The issue is that Caitlin Clark performs at a level where traditional defensive knowledge is inapplicable. She will blow past you if you try to pick her up at the logo. She will shoot over you, so you can't play off her. She will hunt mismatches, so you can't change everything. She will find the open player with passes that most point music guards can't make, thus you can't trap her. The Golden State Valkyries have a strong defense. They are going to discover what every other club in the league has already discovered, and they have knowledgeable coaches and seasoned players. When Caitlin Clark is in rhythm, nothing can stop her. All that can be done is hope she misses shots that she typically makes. That is not a failure of the coach. It's not a lack of preparation or effort. That is the appearance of greatness. We'll be able to have frank discussions about what we're seeing sooner rather than later if teams stop acting like it's their faults and start admitting what they're up against. Before the rematch, Natalie Nakos will make adjustments. She will alter the strategy, perhaps experiment with various personnel pairings, and undoubtedly highlight the same physicality that she feels interferes with Clark's game. And Caitlin Clark will appear and perform the same actions that she did in the first game. Because no adjustment matters when you can lift up from 30 feet with your hand in your face and knock it down like you're doing a layup drill. After giving up 90 points, the Valkyries immediately began discussing minor issues. The Fever discussed carrying out their strategy after scoring 90 points. You may learn a lot about the mental states of these two teams from their divergent points of view. How this transpired is still a mystery. The other is aware of the exact cause and anticipates that it will continue. Observe their body language throughout the first 3 minutes of their next meeting. Watch how the Valkyries react if Clark hits her first 2 shots once more. You'll be able to tell if they've come to terms with reality, or if they still believe that physicality and strategy can close such a big talent gap. I predict that the post-game press conferences will be exactly the same. Nos will discuss physicality and disturbance. Hayes will point up minor issues that need to be resolved. And Caitlin Clark will nonchalantly drop another 25 and 8 while calmly explaining the tactical changes she made. Golden State is not being disrespected. They will play in the postseason. They can compete with any team in the league because of their talent and coaching. However, if you want to compete against Caitlin Clark in 2025, you have to acknowledge that sometimes your finest defensive efforts will still end with her pulling up from the parking lot and swishing it as your flawlessly planned strategy falls apart. The Valkyrie's ability to stop her is not the question. Whether they'll acknowledge that they can't is the question. We will continue to see similar post-game performances where coaches and players argue that it was their faults that caused the defeat, not the opponent's skill that made those mistakes inevitable, unless teams start being honest about what they're dealing with. Let me know by leaving a comment. Do you believe Caitlin Clark will show up and demonstrate that no amount of game planning can stop brilliance, or do you think Golden State will make adjustments and make the rematch competitive? Because I can tell which way I lean based on what we just seen.